thought, a feeling of lack, or you know, a thought comes into my mind, most thoughts, I'll either think about them, you know, or if it's, you know, if you know, somebody comes at me with, you know, some kind of body language, you know, somebody communicates to me with some kind of body language, I might not smile. I might process it real quick. I might have a serious face, or you know, I might even look away. Do many things still doing many, you know, things of human nature. But I'm also putting my own twist onto things, and my behavior is pretty precise right now. My body language, my behavior is pretty precise. It's pretty on the money with the stuff that I'm talking about. That's kind of cool. That reminds me of running track. Yeah. Super illuminated. That's cool. It's not as cool in the video, but man, is that cool. Wow. Okay, you can kind of see it. Whoa. It's a tree. Look at that. Ice that watch. So I smiled as I was walking into the restaurant, or before I walked in, because something told me not to get my hopes up if she was there. Something told me she wasn't going to be there. That was the thought that came into my mind. And the thought was so faint that it's like I didn't even hear the thought, but I could feel it. And I smiled. I smiled at that feeling because I just didn't want to care. I didn't want to care. I didn't want it to have no hold and no control over me. And so I chose to smile and accept, you know, what was going to arrive in front of me. In the time that it did. And so surely enough, that I walked in, and the other times that I would walk in, I would know that she was going to be there before I even walked in. I would just know. And so this time, as soon as I opened the door, I knew she wasn't there. You know? I seen another woman. I'm like, yep, that's not her. No, she ain't there. So I'm like, okay. I go up to the counter immediately. I'm smiling. I'm continuing to smile, you know. Present myself as just a simple man, you know, like the song. Simple man, simple. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Nothing matters. You go into these establishments and they'll just smile and just be like, "Can I get some water? You know, do you have any food left over tonight or tomorrow, or you know, like whatever, you know, I feel called to do." And so in this instance, I asked him for water, and before he goes to give me the water, I was also wondering if I could take a look at your menu. Long story short, I'm sitting there laughing to myself while he's looking up the sauce with his he grabs his coworker, the woman, and they're looking up, and they take a good like 2-3 minutes to figure out how to ring me up for this mint chutney that usually comes with their chips, with their version of chips that aren't chips at all. But but that's that. And so I'm just like laughing to myself like a child. I'm just like laughing at my state of being, laughing at the fact that that prior to this I just fell into a lost moment. I fell into a moment and I got super lost with myself. And so I'm about to leave. You know, I got my water. They give me an extra water, and I got my chutney, and I'm getting ready to walk out. And I asked the woman, I'm like, excuse me, does so-and-so still work here? And she's like, no, you know, about 3 months ago she quit. And I was like, well, do you know where she went? I'm like so curious. And she's like, no, something about school. And I was just like, dang, she was very beautiful. And then she looks at me, she's like, she was very sweet. I'm like, yeah, like special person. But I'm like, oh, wow, I like touched my heart. And so yeah, that was that, and I left. And so that's what influenced me to record this video, is because that little spark, that memory that I had from seeing that person, it gave me energy, and it gave me clarity. And that's the beautiful thing about romanticizing your life and talking about it and processing everything, is that eventually, you know, if you are kind of like in a moment of just like, what do I do, where do I go, if you wait it out, it's not going to be very long before you can you know, get this stuff out, get this stuff off of you, and get it out into the world for it to manifest into something great. And so that's what I'm doing here as I speak. That's what I'm doing here. So we are walking about, and I'm headed towards the old graffiti park, what once was the graffiti park. I had a lot of cool memories here. Back when it was a graffiti park, I had my own place. I had a girl. We'd come here. I had my cousin by my side. He was staying with me before I even got my place, and it flashback all the way back to 2018, right before I moved out. We'd come here, we'd go to the 360 bridge, and he'd have his buddies, and there was a rock. None of this was here. All this gated up, this train track, and this little fancy building right here. None of this was here. None of this was not here. These trees were not here blocking the front. This was not, it was dope. This whole thing was a graffiti park, and it was amazing. And you know, you came from the side, you walked from the side, and it was a walk. Like it was a cool rocky formation, real steep rocky formation that traveled along the side, both sides, I think, and you could walk up to the top, and then once you get to the top, this wasn't here either. None of this was here. This was a beautiful like hill, and there was a house. There was like a house, literally a beautiful house, like private, at the top. And when you got to the top, you know, obviously you don't walk up to the house, but you're, you know, kind of in front of it. You're at the top of the graffiti park. You would just like hang your feet down, and you would look out, and you would see the city. But now it's just, you know, this kind of just messed up flooring, and you can kind of see the resemblance if you had once been to the graffiti park. But it's just different now, and you know, all this wildness, what they've turned it into. You know, this is gentrification at its finest. This right here is gentrification at its finest. So So, you know, I would come here sometimes, and I was working on at the Brooklyn Dumpling Shop right over there, and I'd come here and I'd do my qigong like right here during my breaks. I would take a 30-minute break sometimes. You know, I didn't take a 45-minute break before. You know, they'd be tripping on me, but you know, the joke's kind of out because they closed down right after I quit. So, you know, hating on the kid, you know, it's like all the people that ever hated on me, that caused me painful memories and that tried to harm me both physically, mentally, and emotionally. I must say, like, you are reaping what you're sowing right now, because I'm saved. I'm in the presence of holiness. So you are condemned, and maybe that will turn into something good for you. This is not of my concern. This is not of my concern, because as I speaketh, it is so. It is done. So I've already declared condemnation on everything that has ever held me down, that has ever been of harm to me, that has ever been of lack, that has created lack in my life and destroyed opportunities and hurt me in every aspect, and hurt my loved ones, and has been a demon or a spiritual entity, and all of these things. I've already declared condemnation in each and every one of those things from here on out, in a sustainable way. So to continue with the story, the reason why I started recording this is because I wanted to, and it's usually the reason why I start recording it is like the smallest part of the video, because I really like to, you know, make it a whole thing. You know, it's all about the journey, not the destination, right? You know, of course, with when it comes to life, it is about the journey in this life, but it's also about the destination to the next one. So I'm not really super into the music and, you know, the music that they're playing, so we won't go up that way. We'll go around. So I can now explain that instance of aggression and losing myself. There's a lot of cockroaches out. I don't know if I lost myself, but I was aware of what I was doing, but it was like I was trying to fight something that wasn't a threat that I thought was a threat, okay? And this is what happens. I'm over on South Lamar. I have a spare tire on my car, and then I have, you know, a little bit of gas money right now. And so I go to South Lamar, you know, just to, you know, I'm hitting up every little street that I can go to that's both fun and will provide water. I think I already talked about that. Spending a lot of time just gathering a lot of water all the time, but not just going to gather water just for the sake of gathering water. It's like I'm going to these places to reap more than just water. I'm going there vicariously, without planning to order anything, without planning to get anything more, but always coming out and leaving with more than I expected. Even if they do hand me water, it's like the interaction with those people, I would obtain some kind of help. And so that's what happened before I met the security guard. Before I noticed him and he was trying to stop me. Because, you know, this has happened before. It's happened a few times where I get stopped by somebody and they're kick me out somewhere. They're trying to, you know, get up in my way. They're getting in my way. You know, I'm a lion. You know, so you get in the lion's way and he might snap at you. And so that's what I did. And I don't know if that's like the way that I want to continue to live my life, but that's what happened. So basically, I go to Sour Duck. I've never really spent much time in there, but it was a really cool spot. The people was cool. And I'm talking to the valet dude. Right when I get there, he's like, "Can I help you, man?" And I was like, nah, probably not. And I was like, dabbed him. I was like, "Oh, he's cool." But I was like, yeah, I'm not here to park my car. As a joke. And he's like, "Oh, that'd be cool. That'd be dope if you were. And I was like, for real. And so I walk in just already feeling like good about the place. Because, you know, he's like doing his job. He's actually doing his job and more. So I walk back out and long story short, the dude is cooling and gives me this whole quart container of ice water, and he's cooling. And we're chatting it up, and I'm able to open up to him. And so that's what I was able to obtain in that moment. And so all thanks for that one. So anyways, I'm over here, you know, running around a little bit. I'm running around because I'm trying to get to and fro in a happily and glee-like way. I'm trying to stay glee. And I'm doing it. You know. That is what my state of being is. It is glee. So I'm doing my thing, jumping on top of stuff, practicing my agility, practicing my fluidity. And then, you know, people obviously don't understand that, but that's not why this guy stopped me. He stopped me because that was the Holy Spirit. That's what I have come to realize in these moments where I've had aggression, in these moments where I've been in defense. It's usually where the lesson is to be learned. The biggest lesson is to be learned. And so that's what I think happened here. That's what I think happened. I'm walking back. Finally, I got enough water. I would walk back and forth like 5-6 times already, out of the whole this South Lamar little complex with the cool businesses. I done already walked in and out like 5 times. Went into this little Asian restaurant 2 times. It was staring at the chefs, trying to feel them out. Well, some might consider to be intense. I went for the second time into this Asian restaurant and was staring right at every chef just to feel them out, just to see if like how they would respond to that, you know. And so, and I don't really need to explain why. Maybe I will, but I know why I did that. And so by the time I've already hit up enough spots and like done my thing and did a little bit of exercise, maintained my body being cool in the process, poured enough water on my body, feeling like my body's still clean, you know. I didn't rewatched half of one of the videos that I recorded from earlier today in the garage, and I had it kind of loud, and I was, you know, washing my body in the garage, and then went to get the water. And by the time all that stuff had taken place, I'm walking back, getting ready to go back to my car, and the security guard is smiling immediately, and he's like, "Hey, you all right, man?" He's like, "Hey, you doing okay?" And I snap at him, and then I keep walking, and I notice that I don't calm down, that I'm not calm after the snap. Like usually it's like focus. As soon as I hit that snap, it's like focus mode, zoned in. And so I noticed that he's like following me, and I'm like, okay, I see what this is. And so I snap again. He asked me again, and I snap again. And then we're like getting kind of to the garage area, and I was like, look, man, like if you keep following me, like we're gonna fight. And he's just letting you know. And he's like, well, we can't, man. He's like, I just heard you they saw you like running, jumping around and stuff. You're like, you can't do that. I just wanted to see if you were okay. And I got really defensive, and I was like, you just stop following me, like, unless you want to get punched. Because I was just fighting. I was fighting what I was about to realize about this man was that he truly was trying to see if I was okay. Whereas most people, you know, who work in security and do these jobs and stuff around here, from my previous experiences, I have not felt like they were trying to see if I was okay at all. I felt like they are just trying to, you know, air quote, do their job, which has been kind of annoying, honestly, because their job is like what to me? I'm like what are you're not guarding, you're not stopping me from whatever I'm doing, is not protecting anybody from anything, because I am that I am me. And so me being me and me knowing who I am and what my intentions are, if I see a security guard, I'm already like you are doing your job, and that is getting in my way. So when I saw him, I got real defensive, but he kept saying like, I just want to see that you're okay. And he was smiling the whole time. And he's like, and I'm like, well, go that way. Like, he's like, I was just going to the door. He's like, I was already coming this way. I'm headed to the door. But he's not saying it like that, like how I'm talking. He's saying it in a calm, like literally just a loving, kind way, trying to help me understand. And I'm like, well, go that way. And I'm like I don't want you following me. Like, I'm like, go. And he's like, I just want to make sure that you get back to your home safely. And I'm like, I don't have a home to go back to. And he's like, I hope you do. I just wanted to know that you're gonna be safe, that you're gonna be okay. And then I just get speechless. After that last thing that he says to me. I'm just speechless, and I really have nothing else to say. And I just get in my car, and I'm just kind of frowning a little bit. And so I start driving, and I start talking to the Lord. I start talking to the Lord about how I'm feeling, about what just happened. And I'm just like release me from these demons. Release me from these demons that are trying to plague my mind right now, that I feel like that are plaguing me, and release me from the clutches of this situation of this lack, of feeling of lack and despair. And I say a long prayer that lasts a good I say like a good 10-minute plus long prayer, open prayer. And you know, I'm closing it, and then I reopen the prayer, and I'm just talking to him. And so it was dope. It was a really good prayer. And I think I honestly needed that in order to be able to make sense of that, because it's like, if I hit this breakthrough and I'm truly in charge of my experience, and I'm truly in tune with myself and what's going on with myself, then how is it that I'm getting angry still about stuff? It's like, how is it that? And so it's like, I could not even process. I didn't even know how to process that moment at first. And so I'm telling you this to see if like maybe you might understand or be able to relate to that a little bit. that you might be able to relate to something of that magnitude. But it's all clear now because of the prayer, and then walking to the restaurant, and having that reset, that moment of just romanticizing my experience. So we're still on track. We are still on track. Good to go, baby.